The squirrel was magic.
Earthlings.
Juice in the Morning here. We are unpredictable talk radio for Indianapolis. If you want to follow us on social media, our Instagram is at Juice in the AM. Our Twitter is at Juice in the AM. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Juice in the Morning. If you want to follow us personally, where can we find you, Johnny?
If you're on Twitter, you can follow me at JB_Juice in the AM. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, it's Jonathan D. Boughton. If you can't spell my last name, that's your own fault.
And since I am the Juice himself, you can follow me at Juice85OR7 on all social media. Once again, you can find us on podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Google Play, and you can stream us on Spotify.
Time to blast off, and we'll see you in space, bitches.
Juice in the morning.
Beware your human heart. This is Diabolical Index for June 24th, 2019, where the pages of the uncanny reside. This is Corey Dawson, as always, this time from Moreland Manor, the new home of Diabolical Index, and Andrew the Magnificent, as Emily calls him. She will field no ill will towards Andrew Moore. So yeah, this is the non-entry episode number 14. Choose Your Own Adventure number 1. Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. You got me a book, Ham? There we go. It actually kind of surprised me. I thought it was Escape from like the Swamp of Horror or something. I guess I just didn't think of a... Is that an alligator? A crocodile? I'm sure somebody knows the difference. I don't know the difference. But when I saw that escaping, I thought it had something to do with a swamp. And I thought that would make sense, seeing as how it looks like it just crawled out of a swamp. I babysat my first baby today, and it was an absolute blast. Awesome little guy, but it does take it out of you. And actually, I had a late night the night before because I was at I don't know. Do they have let's see. Do they have a name for what can we call that place? The Pointless Palace? Something like that. I was at the Pointless Palace recording the new Redemption episode coming out, where I play a pretty decent role in that, as well as some little side roles here and there, and it was a complete blast. It's coming out next week, so keep an eye open for Pointless Discussions. And Juice in the Morning is still the podcast this month, so go check them out. And speaking of Pointless Discussions and Juice in the Morning, definitely keep your eyes open on your fuel gauge, because you should be driving to Anderson, Indiana on the 26th, Wednesday night, for the inaugural improvised story Choose Your Own Adventure live at the Kettletop Brew House in Anderson, Indiana. I will be your narrator live at the venue, and to even define what's going to happen that night would be foolhardy at best and ignorant at worst. I have no idea what's going to happen. Who knows? It's hard to say. I'm not even sure the bar knows we're coming. So we're going to have to take over that place like we normally do, instantaneously. And we'll send in Juice first. You know, A-team, you got to send in the faces first always. I don't know where I would fall in that hierarchy. I think I would be skirting the line. Murdoch somewhere, and who knows? Who's to say? Not even sure. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Paul Schroyer correcting on the Tuesday episode of Pointless Discussions will be out tomorrow. I'm not going to give the title away, so that will be so much fun. Oh yeah, Emily. Speaking of so much DI swag, and welcome Jonathan. Thanks for stopping by. Actually, welcome to Eugene, Robin, Ben, Emily, Angela, Stu, Paul, Josh, and now Jonathan. So, speaking of swag, if you go to the teespring.com for Magic Squirrel Network and enter the code MAGIC, I believe it is, you should get 20% off your order. So, definitely check that out. We spoke about that last night, and it's still up in the air whether or not the code works. So, make sure everybody orders stuff and see if it works. That way we can send the hate mail where we may. Let's see. And apparently Justin is a sacrificial lamb for that night. I don't know if I would judge him that harshly. We've never met, but I don't know. It's weird. You think that you would go for the low-hanging fruit first, which would probably be me. My fruit hangs about as low as it can get. But all that out of the way, we can begin, seeing as how we were late. I mean, Andrew Moore has forgotten more about live. Yeah, promo code MAGIC for 20% off at teespring.com. Andrew Moore has forgotten more about video production, lighting, live streaming than I'll ever know. And apparently, he forgot even more than that tonight. How to set up a table. I'm kidding. We were late due to rat infestation, but we're not gonna get into that. Anyway, R.L. Stein, give yourself goosebumps. I think I would have done that a little bit differently.
Wow, it must have been zoomed in. It's probably been on your face for a while.
Oh yeah, see what I mean about him? For
I was trying to find this code for you.
cutting half my head off. That's awesome. So, but that's just book cam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you switch me over?
Okay.
So I think I would have put this a little bit differently on the cover.
You're talking about switch over to there. I was trying to give you a book cam.
It says, R.L. Stein, give yourself goosebumps. Reader beware, you choose the scare. I think I would have said something like, R.L. Stein will give you goosebumps. I don't know. But number 1, Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. I don't know if you saw it before because everything was cut off, but for some reason, some sort of gator, crocodile monster is busting the bars, so we know what we're in for tonight. Beware. Do not read this book from beginning to end. Welcome to the Carnival of Horrors. This is no ordinary carnival. Here you'll find awesome rides, exciting games of chance, and the weirdest freak show ever. Sound familiar, Paul? Boy, this is totally prescient. Do you dare to enter? Are you brave enough to risk the supersonic space coaster? Will you know whom to trust? And see, that's where I throw my respect out right there. Anyone who uses whom, especially right here, that's how you know it's a mark of quality. Charcuterie. Yes. I think that should be the drinking word tonight, charcuterie. We know whom to trust, the snake lady or the three-headed man. Can you make it to the House of Horrors alive? This scary adventure is all about you, my listeners. You are in control. You decide what will happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1. Thank you. Then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. Either make the right choices, you will escape from the spine-tingling Carnival of Horrors alive. If you make the wrong choice, beware. So, take a long, deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 to give yourself goosebumps. And this is number 1, so awesome. I hadn't even thought of that, really. I just kind of threw it up on the poll because I liked what I saw, and I think Andrew was a little bit disappointed because he thought it kind of made sense to go for the Toy Terror due to the debut of Toy Story 4 and the remake of Child's Play. But I only go by what the poll tells me, and the poll tells me that we are going to maybe escape from the Carnival of Horrors. What do you want to do? I don't know, Patty. What do you want to do? Not fair, Brad. I asked you first. Patty and Brad, your two best friends, arguing as usual. It's the last week of August, and Patty and Brad haven't stopped fighting since your summer vacation started. Patty likes being bossy. You don't mind, though. It's no big deal. It's hard to win a fight with her anyway. You don't know why Brad even tries. You guess it's because he doesn't want to look like a wimp in front of a girl. There's nothing to do. I guess I'll just go home, Brad says. He shoves his hands in his pockets. Then his shoulders slump and he sort of shrivels up. You guess Brad is kind of a... Wait a second. This says that you're best friends and you guess Brad is kind of a wimp. That's weird. You guess Brad is kind of a wimp, even as your best friend. You're so boring, Brad, Patty complains. Whenever Patty complains, her freckles really pop out. Now there are about 1 million of them spread across her face. Hey, I know what we should do, Patty suddenly bursts out. Go to page 2. Let's bike over to Bennett's Field and watch them set up the carnival. I don't know, you answer. It's getting dark, and Mom says I have to be in by 9. It's only a quick bike ride, Brad says. Are you some kind of wimp? Brad, calling you a wimp? You can't believe it. Okay, all right, you agree. But if it's bad as last year, there won't be much to see. Don't you remember the main attraction? The ride they called Terror Track? It turned out to be a baby choo-choo train that circled around and around and around. It doesn't matter what you say. Patty's made up her mind. You're going to ride over to the carnival. A hot, humid breeze blows in your face as you pedal along. Patty's in the lead, no surprise, and Brad's puffing behind you. So this is starting to sound like Patty is kind of like the Daphne and Brad is kind of like the Shaggy. But that would make us Fred. So I don't know if that really works out either. It's dark by the time you reach Bennett's Field. You and your friends drop your bikes in the grass. Drop your bikes in the grass. I remember that so vividly. You would just ride wherever you went, and you just dropped your bike wherever you found it. You just drop it. Sorry, I got nostalgic there. You and your friends drop your bikes in the grass and race over the moonlit field toward the huge wooden fence that surrounded the carnival. To take a closer look, turn to page 3. As you reach the carnival entrance, you hear music coming from inside. Not the usual corny organ stuff they always play. I don't know, would that be a calliope? I think it's a calliope. But some really strange music. It sounds familiar and totally new all at the same time. Brad stretches his neck to try to peer over the fence, but no such luck. The fence is way too high. Patty jiggles the padlock on the door. It's sealed shut. I guess we'll have to wait until tomorrow night when the carnival actually opens, Brad says. No way, Patty says. Let's climb the fence now. She's got some spunk. Are you crazy, Brad says. We'll get caught. Come on, there's probably no one in there, Patty replies. Your friends turn to you to cast a deciding vote. You glance at your watch. It's almost 9 o'clock p.m. If you're going to get home in time, you should start back now. So, what do you do? If you decide to go home, turn to page 10. If you decide to climb the fence to get inside, turn to page 6. Are we going to do what Patty says and get killed? Or turn into some sort of freak? Amputated in all kinds of weird ways? Gooble gobble one of us? All that kind of stuff? It's up to you. If you decide to go home, turn to page 10. If you want to climb the fence, do what Patty says, fall victim to peer pressure, possibly get changed into a mutant, turn to page 6. Okay, we got climb the fence. Climb the fence. Hey, Josh, what's up, man? Good to see you out. I got 2 Joshes on the board now. Got a DeForge. Running Scared Motion Pictures. Make sure to check out the short He Is No Man. Hopefully it's going to be going around the circuit pretty soon of horror film festivals everywhere. It's totally rocking. I love it with a passion. Let's see. 2, 3. Yeah, I would say this crew is probably like Michelangelo, a party dude. Oops, I better turn these over. Okay, everyone. I'm looking at my card. I'm going to think of it real hard. I'm seeing it in my mind, replicating itself, turning over and over again, multiplying into infinity, beyond the horizon and back again, as I picture it. Okay. Give me your psychic picks anytime you'd like. Let's see here. Oh, shit. Sorry, Josh. I must have missed you in there somewhere. This has all been oh so chaotic. Fence. I see no devil's advocates. Looks like we're going for the fence. Let's do it, you say to your friends. Let's climb the fence. Patty is halfway up before you finish speaking. You let Brad go next. You're last. Well, obviously, thanks, RL. Thanks for getting those logistics straight for us. It's a hard climb up. There's really no place on a fence to get a good grip. But you make it to the top, swing your legs over, and tumble down. You land on the grass. You're inside. You and your friends gaze around. It's pretty dark. The only light comes from torches. At first, the carnival looks the same as it always does. Dinky rides, hot dog wagons. Then the lights start to flicker in every corner of the field. The rides start to move. It's as if the whole place came magically alive. Hey, look at that giant roller coaster, you exclaim, pointing up ahead. They never had a roller coaster before. Yeah, Brad agrees, and the whole place is a lot bigger than last year. This is awesome, Patty says as she sprints towards the rides. Race over to page 7. You and Brad take off after Patty. Y'all stop in front of the roller coaster. Wow, Patty says as she gazes up at it. It's like a rocket to outer space. Beyond the roller coaster, you spy a castle surrounded by a moat and a spooky-looking haunted house sitting on top of a hill. These are the coolest rides I've ever seen, you say. They still have that dumb choo-choo train over there, but we could ride this stuff all night and never get near it. Patty grabs your arm and tugs you over to the other side of the carnival to the midway. Brad races after you. It's starting to become clear now. Pink Devil. Oh my God. Don't even bring it back. Hey, where are all those dinky wooden booths from last year, you ask as you gawk at the amazing games of chance. They're gone. And in their place are giant video games and huge spinning wheels, studded with hundreds of blinking colored lights. Get a load of that, Brad suddenly cries out. You and Patty spin around. You cannot believe what you see. Be more amazed. Page 87. When they take a gigantic leap towards the back of the book, that's when you know shit's about to get real. You're staring at a sign that reads, World's Freakiest Freak Show. The three of you gape at the pictures. There's the three-headed man with the ugliest collection of faces you've ever seen, and the snake lady, a young blonde girl with a beautiful face and the body of a slithering snake. This is, you start to say, but you don't finish, because a large hand has come down on your shoulder, hard. You slowly turn and gaze up at a huge man with shoulders wider than a refrigerator. He has coal black eyes with a thick mustache to match. He looks strong enough and mean enough to pitch you over the fence with one hand. What are you doing? His deep voice booms. You're not allowed in here, he says, pointing directly at you. We're sorry, you say. You appear sorry and not just scared. We wanted to look around, that's all, but we'll leave right now. His eyes stare into yours. He clamps both hands on your shoulders and says, You're not going anywhere. Uh-oh, quick, turn to page 4. Yep. What do you mean? Brad asked, trembling all over. I just had an idea. A great idea. The man replies. I want you kids to stay and try out the rides before grand opening tomorrow. Patty's eyes open wide. She's always down for a soft opening. Whoops. Never mind. Patty's eyes open wide. Cool, she says. Are you sure it's all right with the owner, you ask? I'm Big Al, the manager, and what I say around here goes. Big Al digs around in his checkered jacket and pulls out 3 maps. He hands one to each of you. Study them carefully, he says. If you have any questions, you'd better ask them now. Your eyes fall upon the map. You have a question, but when you gaze up, Big Al is gone. He's vanished. A whole carnival to ourselves, Patty exclaims. Where should we start? How about the fucking exit? I'm scared. No. I'm not scared. If you're not scared, I'm not in the midst of this. You are. I'm out. I'm in the safety of my diabolical index. And you're in the midst of Big Al and his horrific carnival of craziness. I should just shut up sometimes. You stare down the map once again. You notice that the carnival is split in half. On one side are the rides, tons of them. On the other side is the midway, packed with the games of chance and the freak show. What will you try first? Let's see. I don't think anyone guessed this. You shouldn't be guessing anyway. Should be you looking into my mind and seeing what I see. Say what? Okay. To go on the rides, turn to page 34. To check out the midway, turn to page 77. Let's see here. 77. Okay. Here we are again in the vortex of my consciousness. Look around in there. Shuffle things about and see if you can see what I see in my mind's eye. Unblinking, unfettered by the shackles of reality. See if you can claim what's in my mind for your own and see it within your own mind. Okay. To go on the rides. Oh, that's awesome. To go on the rides, turn to page 34. To check out the midway, go to page 77. Looks like, let's see, 77. I think we had gotten one of the other ones. 34, 77. Uh-oh. Let's see. Got a triangle from Paul. Star from Stu. Plus sign from Emily. Okay, let's see here. Can you scroll up slightly on the comments? I'm just kind of looking around at who did what, because so far, the rides are winning. Yeah, still winning. Okay, that's good. Okay, a few more seconds. Oh, there's another 77. Okay, now we got a tie. What do you say, man? The rides. Okay, we're checking out the rides. Going to page 34. Andrew is usually the tiebreaker. Let's go on the rides first, you say. That roller coaster looked awesome. Okay, Patty agrees. Over this way, she yells as she charges over to it. When you reach the rides, you can only stare in amazement. These are the most fantastic rides you've ever seen. The towering roller coaster, the soaring speedboats, the twisty slides. Everyone is in motion, whizzing, whirling, doing loop-de-loops, and they're all empty. No riders, no people in line. Cool, Patty exclaims. We have the whole place to ourselves. Brad's face turns a little green as his gaze swings from the supersonic space coaster to the Doom slide. Do you think they have rides that don't go upside down? He asks. Come on, let's check the coaster out. Patty calls to you and Brad. Then they run off to its starting gate. You stop and crane your neck to gaze up at the coaster's first hill, and you gasp. Quick! Go to page 47. I'm starting to wonder about all these movements. The tracks stretch up so high they seem to touch the clouds. Your gaze follows one of the cars speeding around a sharp curve. It looks like the space shuttle. You hope it's not the Challenger. You notice it has a safety harness that locks over your body. You've seen those before. At your uncle's house. No, I'm just kidding. You notice it has a safety harness that locks over your... You've seen it before. They keep you in the ride... Turns upside down. They keep you safe. You didn't want to admit it before, but like Brad, riding upside down is not your favorite thing. Still, the coaster does look amazing. One part enters a tunnel, and you can see that the cars go fast, really fast. You're about to walk up through the space coaster gate when you hear spooky organ music coming from behind you. You turn around. Looming in the distance is a dark and creepy haunted house. You gaze down at your map. It's called the Little House of Horrors. You love haunted houses, and this one looks really scary. And besides, Patty, baby. You never know. Now you're not sure what to do. You won't have time for everything. The coaster of the haunted house. What? You got time for everything. You already broke into the damn place, and he gave you free reign of the joint. Go ahead. But we are here to decide. And, by the way, Emily, you read my mind. So, if you decide to join Patty and Brad on the space coaster, get on board at page 26. If you want to go to the House of Horrors alone, go to page 64. Now, this might be one of those things where, I don't know, it might go against my better judgment and go to the haunted house alone. If it was me, I don't know. But, I don't know, roller coaster at night in an abandoned carnival, fun times. Let's see here. Josh DeFord, 64, first one on the board. Let's see here. Ooh. There's nothing. I should have just kept going. I should have kept going with this and just let you guys get screwed up, but that's not my style. Let's see. House of Horrors 64. Haunted House. I should have known with this crew. I'll be really surprised if anyone pulls the devil's advocate on this one. I'm sure that everyone wants to go to the haunted house. We got horror writers, we got horror readers, horror directors. Everybody's here. Let's see if I can get this damn card out one-handed. That's the dexterity. I'm looking at my face in on this video, and I look totally wrung out. I apologize, you guys. I look like shit. But see if you can stumble around the rickety confines of my mind in the throes of sleep deprivation and guess correctly what I am thinking of. It swirls around. The clouds lift and you see a figure. You see a picture. Nay, you see a diagram. You look at the silhouette and you picture it in your mind and let me know what you see. Okay. Circle, Robin. Interesting. Stu's playing the percentages. He's just putting a star every time. That's smart, though. Ooh, Emily's going for the wavy lines. And Paul's thinking of a horse, but that's normal. He used to work at Churchill Downs as what they call a broomsticker. I never really asked what that was, but what are you gonna do? What can I say? Andrew never pans down. He never pans down. That would get us thrown off the network immediately.
How can you be naked then?
Right. So anyway, there you go. Okay. All right. It's looking like it's a landslide. We're going to the haunted house. We are here for the horrors. The House of Horrors. You have to see it. You just have to. I'll catch up with you guys later. You called it Patty and Brad. I'm going to check out the haunted house. You glance down at your map for directions. The rickety wooden bridge over to your left appears to lead straight there. As you start to cross the bridge, the wooden planks creak under your feet. Then the bridge begins to sway. You look down, way down. The bridge spans a deep, rocky gorge. Gulping, you grab the handrail. You move slowly. A strong wind blows up from the canyon below. The bridge is swaying wildly now, tossing from side to side. A massive spear of lightning splits the sky. Thunder rumbles so loudly you jump and lose your balance. Help! You scream as you tumble right over the side and plunge toward the jagged rocks below. How can you save yourself? And I would say that if anyone needed to save themselves, you could ask a lot of the people in the group because... Circle, baby. I lost count of how many people said circle. So, there you go. My mind is an open book. Holy fucking shit. The segues never end. How can you save yourself? That is the question. Do you make a grab for the side of the bridge? If so, turn to page 46. If you flap your arms and try to fly, turn to page 30. I have a sinking feeling that we're going to have a lot of flapping arms around here. How can you resist that little trick? Let's see here. Sorry, I'm going through all these cards that I did the last time. I think they're tainted with psychic force. I wouldn't want to stack the deck in your favor. Flat, baby. Try to fly. Fuck it. I figured. Let's see, 146. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look deep into my mind. As if on a roller coaster, see yourself speeding through the wrinkles, and not just on my eyebrow. Look deep, deeper, deeper. Dig a hole into my brain and see what I'm looking at. Okay. Let's see. Wait. Okay, I'm taking the last one for Robin. Fly, you fools. Okay, yeah, it's a landslide. We're flapping. And I would say in the case of myself, seeing as how I have bye-bye and hello arm, I think we might get somewhere. Let's see. Paul's going for the triangle. How would I know that Paul's going for the triangle? Excuse me. You're falling. Falling. You can't think of anything else to do, so you start flapping your arms like a bird. At that moment, a huge gust of air shoots up from under you and blows you back onto the bridge. Breathing hard, you run the rest of the way across the rickety span. When you reach the safety of the other side, you glance back. Sorry. I'm sorry. A triangle-shaped horse. Oh, God. What do I do? You glance back and gasp. The bridge and the midway beyond it have vanished. Only a black void remains. Wow! Awesome special effects, you yell. But your fall was not part of the special effects. Was it? Didn't feel like it. You spin around to face the House of Horrors. Up close, it appears really, really creepy. I have the urge to kind of go like Serling on this. Cobwebs drip down from its roof, and an eerie yellow light glows inside. Cool. Next to the house, you spot a sign that reads, Boat Trip to Nowhere. There are amazing speedboats that you can drive yourself. Which should you try first? The decision can only be made in the goosebump sound. No, that doesn't really work. But the question is, want to try the boat trip to nowhere? Go to page 88. I have been on a boat trip to nowhere. I have experienced that. Or are you ready for the House of Horrors? I'm digging this a lot because I'm always a big believer that the lead up should at least be as interesting as where you end up. So I think that it's really cool that we haven't even gotten to the House of Horrors yet, or, you know, in some cases, the Midway and stuff. And just getting there is an adventure, so that's pretty cool. Funnel cake. Oh, my God, Paul. Ben's talking about funnel cake. I guess that this whole show is just going to remind us of tomorrow night's Pointless Discussions episode, where I guest star. Awesome. People would say that I elevate any Pointless Discussions episode that I'm on, and they're all full of bullshit. Want to try the boat trip to nowhere? Go to page 88. Ready for the House of Horrors? Go to page 66. Let's see here. COPD. House of Horrors, 66. That's for Paul. Split on this one. The boat might be worth it. Josh DeForge going for 88. Always the iconic last. Don't try to distract me. House of Horrors, please. No problem. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, I guess you made this decision initially to go to the House of Horrors, but you didn't know about the boat trip to nowhere. I mean, a boat trip to nowhere is inevitably going to lead somewhere. Even nowhere is somewhere, right? Oh, I almost forgot. Star is what you got. I think that Emily is like on a roll here. I'm not so sure that she hasn't guessed any wrong yet. 66. Yeah. This like is going to be a landslide too, but first, let me see. Is there an ice cream bar in your future? Will you be looking at a pentagram? Will snakes cross your path? Will you be doing addition problems? It's up to you. You have to look deep within this gigantic melon and see what no one else can see. Okay. Hell yes. Drink. Wavy lines. Drink. Pay the ferryman. Pay the ferryman, Kron. Okay. So, looks like we're going to the House of Horrors. But, I mean, that was the point. That is the most perfect effect. I'm so pumped about that. You start up the brick path to the House of Horrors. Suddenly, someone sneaks up behind you and taps you on the shoulder. You spin around and jump back. Jump back! Gonna kiss myself! Standing in front of you is a bony skeleton. And it talks. Don't go in there, the skeleton says, or you'll end up like me! You stare in terror at the hideous creature, then you burst out laughing. Wow, you guys really want to make the haunted house really creepy. This is going to be great, you say. I walked into a bar once. I asked him for a beer and a mop. Anything? No. Andrew didn't even smile. I don't know what the fuck he's doing over there. He's not listening to this. It makes sense. It makes sense with those kind of jokes. You're still chuckling as you push open the giant oak door of the House of Horrors. It swings back with a long, loud creak. You step inside and find yourself in a narrow hallway. The door slams shut behind you and the hall turns darker than a starless night. I can't even see my hands, you exclaim to yourself like a moron. You stumble ahead slow. I've heard that if you're in a... I went to Mammoth Cave once and we didn't experience total darkness. They said, this is something like 90% total darkness. And they said, if you're stuck in total darkness, you always close your eyes because if your eyes keep trying to seek out the light, you'll go blind eventually. I can't even see my hands, you exclaim. You stumble ahead slowly, pressing your palms against the walls to guide you. When will this tunnel end? Look for a way out on page 80. You turn a corner and instantly blinded by glaring lights. You're standing in a room of mirrors, walls, floor, ceiling, all mirrors. Everywhere you gaze, you're met with reflections of yourself. You take a few steps forwards and bonk! You hit your head on solid glass. You move one step to the left and a dozen copies of you move in that direction. It's like that part in Enter the Dragon. Totally dizzy. You close your eyes. Huh? He was listening. You can't find the exit with your hands. Maybe you can find it with your belly. Keeping your eyes shut, you walk until your palms hit against another glass wall. Then you hear a voice. Come this way. Over here, it calls. You walk towards the voice and bonk, a solid wall again. Son of a bitch! Finally, your hands find an open doorway. It leads to a mirrored hallway that goes left and right. Which way will you go? This is awesome. There are all kinds of choices here. If you decide to go right, page 29. If you decide to go left, the way of the sinister, page 118. He's still salty. The other book lost. Hey, it was a close shave. It was a close shave. And actually, there were people who wanted to come forward and try to turn the tide, but it was too little too late. And by the way, square. We're all over the place. I'm not so sure anyone said square on that one, though. But as you think about whether or not to turn right and go to page 29, or turn left and go to page 118, consider this. Consider what I have in my hand now. Oh boy, that sounded bad. Consider what is pressed against my... Nope, that sounds bad too. Consider the shape that I'm thinking of in my mind. Allow it to spin around in your own, blurred to the minds of men, until it comes into focus, and you can see it clearly now as I see it. I'm projecting it across the gulf of time. We're on a delay, so the gulf of time and space. And now it floats in front of your eyes, allowing your inner eye to see it for what it truly is. What is it? What is it? For all I know, when I'm turning it around, I'm showing everybody. I have no idea. Let's see. 29. 118. The right way is the wrong way. Left. Tyler, I swear to Christ, man. What is the deal with the... Okay, I thought I was going to try to suss it out, but I just can't. I just can't. What's the deal with the new shoes? The fuck's wrong with my shoes, man? Or maybe he's calling me daddy. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. You think that's worth... No, because he's the podcast daddy. I don't know. I don't know. Got the circle for Ben. But regardless of anything, I'm glad that the podcast daddy is here with us tonight. He played a song for me the other night. I thought for sure that he had recorded it himself, but oh well. Because I know that he lays down some beats and he spits some fire occasionally, as the kids say around the playground. Okay, so far we're tied for right turning, left turning. What do you say, Tyler? What do you say? We're going left or we're going right? You will turn the tide in this house of horrors. I am not wearing Crocs. I guarantee. Although I guess that would have been fitting due to the cover. Much unlike the host of Heckles and Horror that Andrew also works with, the guys from Concept Media, he does a lot of costume changes, costume fitting his episodes, and I haven't quite done that yet. Well, I guess I did once. The initial Choose Your Own Adventure, I dressed up for that one.
Haven't done it yet.
And I haven't done it since. Robin and Emily on the wavy line train. Okay, we need a tiebreaker. Are we going left or are we going right? Do I stay or do I go? Yin or yang? To or fro? See or saw? Teeter or totter? I'm so damn stupid. I've got it. A playground that serves breakfast. I would call it the tater totter. Boom diggity. Anyone who's got the money to front to invest in something like that. Ooh, Josh is changing his vote. He wants to go left. Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. Okay. Looks like we're going left. 118. I'm really surprised we're not dead.
We have survived for a while.
This might be the longest we've lasted. Oh my God, I didn't even mark the last two choices. If we screw up, it'll be difficult to get back to where we were. You turn left. Somewhere ahead of you hear laughter. Is somebody there? You call out, as if anyone's ever gonna fucking answer you. But when they do, you're in deep shit. Silence. You stare at your reflections in the mirrored hall. Am I trapped, you wonder? Am I in real danger? Or is this all just a big, scary joke? Your heart begins to race. You inch forward a few more steps, moving towards the laughter, slowly. Over here, the voice calls again. But now the voice seems to be coming from behind you. Turn to page 36. Help! You turn back and head in the other direction. Your reflections bounce off the walls at crazy angles. Are you walking straight or have you rounded a corner? There's no way to tell. This is hell! Yeah, this time you're sure you're going the right way. Over here, a voice calls. Turn left again! Turn left again? Now you're really confused. If you turn left again, will you finally escape? Turn to page 118. Help! Okay. Oh my god, are we in a time loop? Dude, we're in a time loop. The mirror world. We're not going to die. We're not going to escape. We're in a time loop. We're never going to get out of here. And once you get to 118, 36, 118, 36. Holy... What are we... Fuck! Oh, man. We got to go back. What time is it? 11:17. Holy shite.
Take a right.
Hey, Natalie, you're here. What's that now? Oh, yeah, I guess we'd have to take right. No, it wouldn't matter. If you take right, it just takes you back to 118. That's the loop.
So you're just stuck in the book?
You're stuck. So we have to go back to...
So we died, basically?
No, we live forever. We're stuck in the mirror world.
What happens when you take a left?
Okay, so we have to go back a lot. We have to go back a lot. Oh, shit. Damn, dude. We may be fucked. Okay. So basically... 30, 46. Okay. 30 or 46. I actually have to go back further than that. 64. Okay. No. Okay. Here's the thing, you guys. If we go back to the bridge, there's only one outcome that doesn't kill us. Because I just looked ahead to see what the thing was. There's only one outcome that doesn't kill us on that one, and we picked the one that saved us. So...
Did it, though? I mean, we're stuck there.
Well, kind of saved us. So... Emily has got it. We have to go on the boat trip to nowhere. Page 88. I have to say, dude, I am really impressed. I am really impressed by that. And it makes perfect sense because he's been putting up all these kind of Doctor Strangeian symbols and shit on me when I'm doing the ESP cards. And to put us in a time loop, that's just dope. I love that because I wonder how many kids read this and thought that they made some kind of gigantic mistake. Because that's exactly what it is. You go to one and then you go to the other and then to the other and then go to the other and then get back to the one and over to the other again. You head toward the boat trip to nowhere. At the dock, you spot a stubby guy with long arms slouching against one of the mooring posts. In the strange light of the swamp, his skin shines with an oily green glow, and his ears and nose are as craggy as tree bark. Step right up, he calls in a gravelly voice. He pulls one of the motorboats over. It's red with a silver racing stripe. You can do 15 knots in these babies, he says. But stay away from the tree stumps. You watch the little man's sharp green fingernails tearing the mooring rope apart. As soon as the boat's free, you jump in, step on the gas, and roar away from the dock. This place is huge. I guess I thought it was just like a field somewhere, but there's all kinds of stuff happening. The wind blows hard against your face. You're flying over the water. This is totally cool. You head for a channel you didn't see up ahead. Too bad you didn't notice the sign that reads, "To Booger Bog." Oh, man. These are awesome. This was like the best decision you ever made, man. Showing me these books. Oh, my God. Your boat glides through the channel at high speed to Booger Bog. Water sprays up into your face. Ew! It's mucus. But soon you have to slow down. Trees have suddenly sprung up all around you. You're completely surrounded now by their towering trunks. In the dark light, their limbs take on the shape of gnarled arms and blackened, bony fingers at the ends. You stare hard at the tree trunks. Could it be? Are they reaching out for you? You slowly weave the boat through the twisted trunks and branches. They've grown so thick here that you can barely pilot your boat through them. The trees rustle as if they're whispering to each other. Their limbs begin to sway. As you glide carefully through the water, the leaves slap against your face. Slap, slap, slap. Your heart starts hammering away in your chest. This is really scary. Just how far is nowhere? You begin to wonder. Something swipes at your hair. What was that? Turn to page 105. That reminds me of James Grant. I did a live video from the Afraid of Bats studio in Pendleton Art Center, and James and I share a studio there, and I called it Afraid of Bats because one time a bat flew into the Pendleton Art Center and it kind of whizzed past his head, and he's a big boy. If anyone's seen him, he came on the show one time, or like a promo, and a big gentle giant, and he shrieked at the top of his lungs. It sounded like a little baby, and jumped under a couch. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. So I just had to call the studio Afraid of Bats. What else are you gonna do? But then again, he had this this tangle of curly hair. So that's why I call him Big Curly. And I guess he thought that the bat was gonna get ensnared in his hair and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's get back to this. It's a tree branch grabbing at you, tugging at your hair. You can't break free. Its gnarly stubs dig in deeper as you struggle. Its gnarly stubs dig in deeper as you struggle.
He wanted to be an intimate writer, but never. It's like the third time
I'm just gonna leave that one right there. Suddenly, you feel something wrap itself around your arms, then your legs, closing in. This reminds me of that part in Evil Dead. Closing in tighter, tighter. You gaze down and see them, black, knobby tree limbs, twisting around you, strangling you. You drop hold of the steering wheel and begin to claw at the branches, ripping them away. And then you peer up and see a terrifying sight. It's a huge tree, and you're headed straight for it. You grasp the steering wheel to regain control of the boat, and the tree is inches away. Are you going to crash? There's no reason to get excited. There's no reason to fear. No! At the last minute, you wrench the steering wheel hard to the left. The side of your boat clears the tree with a sickening scrape. You breathe a sigh of relief, but it ends in a groan. A huge, sharp root below the bottom has just ripped into the bottom of your boat, and your taint. Your guts are spilling into the water. All the mucus is just sucking them down to the bottom in the undertow. You're fucking dead. No, not really. You hear a tearing sound. Ah! God. Then gurgling as the cockpit starts to fill with water. Now what? You mutter. Then through the mist, you spot another boat, but it's some distance away. Hey, over here! You cry out. Did they hear you? You cry out again. Then you glance behind you. More than half your boat is underwater, and you're going down fast. And by water, he means snot. What should you do? Keep yelling for help, or try to swim for safety? Make your choice quick. If you want to be rescued... No, okay, if you decide to wait to be rescued, go to page 100. 100! If you decide to swim for it, go to page 56. I think that all of you are the type that want to go for the gusto. Make your own way in the world. You don't have to wait around for some good Samaritan to get you out of a jam. But I could be wrong. There you are. Somebody got this right. I think it was Ben. I don't know. My notes are hazy. I would like to think that Ben has a one-way ticket into my mind. Let's see. Swim! I don't know if it was a typo, but if it wasn't, awesome, Paul. He said, swim! We got to swim for it! Swim, swim, swim. Swim in the boogie goodness. Is that what you guys did in school? It's been hot down here in Florida. You never know when the snot or the Booger Bog is going to rise up around your ankles. I'm not exactly sure why I gave him that accent, but
Because it's down here.
yeah, down here. That must have been what it was. Rip taint, swim.
Rip taint.
Yeah. Hey, we've all been there. Oh. Okay. I'm picturing it. If anyone wants to do some remote viewing from the vistas of my imagination, come hither and do your best. Look forward, backward, upward, downward. There are no directions, no compass points in the deep, deep, deep of my mind. See what I see. Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. I had to kind of change the words there. I don't want to get any copyright bullshit happening. But I do see this in my mind. Do you? Do you dare to enter the confines of a steel trap such as this? This gigantic melon. The lobes alone would make any gypsy fortune teller cringe. I have no idea what that means. Okay. Emily says star. Well, it looks like we're... No typo, Wunderbar. Dr. Wunderbar at your service. Wolf Maximilian Angetup. Wunderbar. You can call me doctor. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we're swimming. We're swimming through the snot, by God. Whether or not we get the crunchy ones or the squiggly ones, or what I call the Spider-Man ones. 56. You leap out of the boat. The putrid brown water splashes into your mouth. Gross! Maybe it's poop. Maybe it's a poop lagoon. You swim a few strokes and suddenly find your knees scraping the bottom of the bog. The water here is less than a foot deep. Unbelievable! You were practically inches away from safety the entire time. Just like prom. Slogging through the brown foam, you wade to shore. Your clothes are dripping wet, dripping with goo. Well, look at the bright side, you remind yourself. At least you didn't go down with your boat. But your troubles aren't over yet. You're standing in a dank, eerie forest that surrounds the lake. Oh, man. This just gets better and better. You're totally lost. Creepy screeches echo through the night mist. The wind starts to blow. Shivering, you wrap your arms around your shoulders and wonder where your friends are and what they are doing. I wonder what they're doing. How about it whether or not they're still freaking alive? Then pow! Something black and furry swoops. Oh my God. I'm like telling the future tonight. This is crazy. Something black and furry swoops down at you. You duck your head, but it comes at you again and again. It lands on a girl's shoulder. It's a huge bat! Turn to page 37. By a girl's shoulder, everyone knows exactly who I mean. Let's see. You cover your head with your hands, try to run into a thick grove of trees, but the bat circles in front of you and dives again. Stop it! Stop it! You scream like a little ninny. As you turn and race towards some low bushes, you remember the stories. The horrible stories about bats making nests in people's hair. And the only way to get them out was to shave your head. Those stories weren't true, were they? Grow some guts and get punk rock with it. Shave that shit, man. Who cares? You spot a big stick in the wet dirt and scoop it up. The bat swoops down on once more, and you flap! Hit it. Oh, man! What a dick! Oh, okay, here we go. The bat falls to the ground. And you see it's on a wire. It's a mechanical bat. Would you call that the Verminator? Oh, damn. I made that part up. Although that would be in here. That would have been cool. Lazy parenting. Damn straight. All part of the ride, you think. You think about the boat ride. Boy, they really make things seem real at this carnival, you think. You feel much better when you gaze up ahead. But then, when you see what's there, you scream! 93. I've lost my fucking mind. Maybe it's better when I come in here like half stupid. What a sight! You can hardly believe your eyes. You scream again. It's Patty and Brad. Hey guys, wait up, you yell. Quick, hurry to page 20. Oh my fuck. Well, that just erased everything. Quick, hurry to page 26 and you can go on the space coaster with him. So, I have to admit, I'm totally curious now. I wonder if that really is all there is to the House of Horrors.
Well, you died like 3 times.
No. It just sent me around in circles. I wonder if I could have done... No. Because it did. It just kept sending me back for one... That's weird. I have to look at this again sometime. 126. Hey, wait up, you yell to Brad and Patty as you sprint through the space coaster gate. They both ignore you and charge straight ahead. You follow them in a narrow tunnel that leads to the boarding area. You gaze down at the floor. Black rubber. Oh, shit. B-Rad. Oh, my God. Robin goes all the way. I love these people. They both, you gaze down the floor, black rubber. It makes you walk with a strange bounce. You're going to walk with a strange bounce when this is over, buddy. Every few feet, there's a round porthole. Oh, my God. The glory hole gulch is where we at. That's where we ended up, huh? No, it doesn't say glory hole gulch. This is Goosebumps. Give me a break. But, I mean, it's black rubber. There's holes everywhere. Oh, okay, here we go. When you glance out one, you see astronauts painting flags on the moon. You peer out another. Now they're seated in their capsule. This is amazing, you think. The figures look real. Totally real. After a long climb, you and Patty and Brad finally arrive at the loading area. A sleek, bullet-shaped capsule whooshes up and stops right behind you. It has 3 sections. Brad climbs defiantly into the last section. Tough guy. You leap into the front. Patty's left with the middle section. Suddenly, you're trapped. The hell does that mean? Steel bars plunge down from above and drop across your lap and chest, pinning you in place. You can't move at all. Even your head is held by super strong headphones that clamp over your ears. A voice comes through them announcing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! You hear a huge bang. Smoke and fireworks fill the air as your car starts up the first big hill. Your head presses back against the seat as you climb higher and higher. This kind of reminds me of Outer Limits, Flight of Fear. I think it was like the fastest beginning of a roller coaster for a long time, but then it slows down. I think you like go up to like 80 miles per hour in like a second. It's like 0 to 80 in 1 second, and then it slows down. After that was over, I looked back at the people behind me and I was like, "What the fuck?" I just thought it was really weird. Like if you can turn around in your seat and talk to people behind you on a roller coaster, no. The first hill is endless, but the view is awesome. From the top, you can see the midway, the haunted house, and a shadowy swamp. You can't believe how big the carnival is. Neat, Patty yells. There's a... Whatever she was going to say turns into a wild scream as the rocket plunges down the other side of the hill. The wind whips at your face. You're pressed back so hard you feel like a pancake. Everything passes in a fantastic blur. As your car shoots up the top of the next hill, you're laughing and screaming at the same time. Just like life. This is great, you think, but then you make a big mistake. Turn to page 39. You close your eyes. When you open them, the car lunges forward with a burst of speed and the loop-de-loop. Your mouth drops open to scream, but no sound comes out. It's clogged with puke. No. Now your car starts to plunge downward like an elevator out of control. Your heart pounds in your chest. This is the fastest and best roller coaster you've ever been on. As you near the bottom, you slow down. You begin to catch your breath, and you see what's up ahead. A huge black hole. A tunnel. As you shoot towards the open mouth of the tunnel, you begin to scream again. The door of this tunnel is about to close. Snap! The door comes crashing down behind your car. You breathe out a long sigh. But now you're in a tunnel so dark you can't see a thing. Scary! But not nearly as scary as what happens next. What happens? Turn to page 94 and find out. All right. If you say so, Mr. Stein. The ride stops dead. You're sitting in the dark. Nothing is moving, not even your bowels. Patty! Brad! You call. Silence. Why don't they answer? They have to be there. You try to twist around, but you're locked in your harness and clamped into your headset. Blinking in the dim light, your eyes dart to the left, then to the right. You spot dozens of empty space rockets lining the walls. They seem to come in sections to make longer and shorter space rockets. Your mind starts working feverishly. Did your section detach from Patty and Brad's? Suddenly the silence is shattered. Your seat lock grinds open your release from your harness. You quickly spin around. Patty's and Brad's cars have disappeared. If this is all part of the ride, maybe you should hop out. But if the ride's broken, maybe you should wait for help. What do you do? Do you wait for help to come? Go to 92. If you want to hop out of the car and perhaps down into a vortex of unending blackness, turn to page 111. What do you guys do? Oh my God, bubbly diarrhea. Fuck. What's... I don't know, 94, whatever. The Pentagraph. I don't know. Emily, yet again. You can't see these, can you? You're not cheating me, are you? Let's see. We got one hop out. Hop out. Two hop outs. Bubbly diarrhea, yeah. Fun times. Oh, shit. We're gonna... Oh, I didn't take one out yet. Okay. Still dicking around trying to do this one-handed. That's the magic of it all. Okay. Get me on book, dude. Let's see. Where can it be now? Is it there? Is it here? Is it everywhere? It rolls over my thoughts and down into my deepest desires, making its way to the edge of reason and the place where only Evo Shandor hangs out. Look at it. It's there, making its way through the mists, exposing itself to you with reckless abandon. Do you see it? Do you make it your own? Only time will tell. Okay. You're a legitimate phenomenon. Okay. Hop. Hop. Much like the rabbits of yore. Yeah. Looks like it's hopping. We're hopping out. We haven't got time for too much rigmarole. Your pulse pounds in your ears as you carefully lift yourself out of the car. The tunnel is dark and musty and really creepy. Anything could be lurking in the shadows. This must be part of the ride, you reason. And the more you think about it, the more convinced you are you're scared. But you have to admit, this is pretty cool. In the distance, you spot several red lights that seem to lead to other dimly lit tunnels. You've seen things like this in an old Al Pacino movie. It's Cruising, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. You cautiously head towards one of them. Overhead, something dark and slimy drips. It couldn't be any worse than Glory Hole Gulch. Splattering on the top of your head, it stings. As you desperately try to wipe the burning slime away, something grabs you by the knees. Ah! You look down, a pair of red-rimmed eyes meet yours. It's a dwarf with scraggly red hair and a toothless smile. Want me to lead you out of here, kid? He asks. You're about to follow the dwarf, then you stop. Is he part of the ride? He looks really evil. What do? Where's David Bowie? Follow the dwarf? Man, this is awesome. So many choices. So many circumstances. I'm riveted. Riveted, I tell you. Follow the dwarf, go to page 99. Decide not to follow the fucking dwarf? Go to page 33. What do we say? Are we following the dwarf and going to page 99? Do we decide not to follow dwarf? Go to page 33. There's no option to like strike the dwarf at all. I would be totally up for that. But hey, Emily. Some may think that this is it's a rigged game. Not true. But it does make me wonder if there's a reflective surface behind now. Just my faux head, I guess. Suffragette City. Oh my God. Awesome. Okay, 33. Follow the dwarf. It's a sassy seat. No, not follow the dwarf. So we got one to not follow the dwarf. Paul knows what's up when you follow dwarves. 99, follow the dwarf. Okay. So 99 to follow the dwarf. 99, hairy dwarves. Decide not to follow the dwarf. Go to page 33. Okay. While you mull over your choices, allow me to get out another card. If I can fucking do it. It's an endurance challenge. Me to be expected to do this after today. Okay. As I visualize my shape, ask yourself, what is it that you truly see? Make no guesses here. Guesses do not matter when you look it straight in your face. My mind is open to all of you. Terrifying as it may be, I am visualizing a shape in the midst of it. See as it turns round and around, flipping over and over, causing larger and larger geometric patterns. Get lost in it, and then contract it again and see what's in my mind. Okay. No, I'm not calling you a cheat. It wouldn't be your fault if it was reflected back there. Okay, what are we doing? Are we following the dwarf, 99, or not following the dwarf, page 33? We have 2 votes. What are we doing? Plus sign for Emily. Anyone? Bueller, follow the dwarf, page 99. Decide not to follow the dwarf, go to page 33. What do you want to do, Andrew?
Follow him.
You want to follow the dwarf, page 99. Robin K. Merrill, 33. Fuck, now we're tied again.
Emily hasn't voted yet.
Yeah, Emily, what's up? She's too busy reading my mind. Follow the dwarf. 99 is what we do. Let's see. Everyone remember to go to Anderson, Indiana to the Kettletop Brew House Wednesday the 26th, a couple days from now, and check out members of Pointless Discussion, Juice in the Morning, and myself, your bibliophile extraordinaire, as we go through a live Choose Your Own Adventure of our own making and the audience's. It should be actionable. Okay, get me out of here, you say to the dwarf. Did you help my friends too? The dwarf does not answer. He does not give a shit about your friends. He sprints off, and you have to race to keep up with him. Through a confusing maze of twisting tunnels, you sure glad you have a guide. The dwarf suddenly stops. That way, he says gruffly, pointing straight ahead. Before you can blink, he vanishes in a puff of logic, and you're left standing in front of 2 doors, one red and one blue. I couldn't. I tried my best not to think of Lawrence Fishburne. I tried. It happened. The red one has a sign that reads danger, and the blue one has a sign that says big danger. I love it. I love it. Man, these books just keep getting better and better. And this is the first one.
Seems like you put a lot of choices in this one, and then you slowed them down after a while.
Yeah, maybe that's right. But I don't know, man. I like the choices, especially since you're going all over the place in this thing. Like, we've almost been everywhere, because it said when you got to the top of the roller coaster, you saw the haunted house, the swamp, and then you're on the coaster. So it's.
We only died once.
We never died at all.
I mean, we got stuck in the time.
We got stuck in the time loop. No harm ever came from following a dwarf. Just ask Pee Wee Herman. Let's see. What the fuck am I doing? Okay. If you leave by the big, or the red door, where am I? Page 104. If you try the blue door, page 57. Was the blue pill you stay in Wonderland?
Red.
I always get those mixed up. I don't pay any attention to libertarians.
Blue's a good one, I think.
Blue's the good one. What's a puff of logic look like? I would say ask Douglas Adams, but I don't know how to do that cross thing. Rest in peace. That guy was a genius. Okay, 1 and 4.
I think red was stay in Neverland. You should take the blue pill, wake up.
I thought it was I'll man, honestly, I haven't seen the Matrix, the first Matrix, in a long time, and I still think that's like one of the most groundbreaking movies that ever existed. I wish so wholeheartedly they never would have made any sequels. That movie was killer, man.
It was.
Blue door for Emily. I mean, why not? If you're already going to danger, why be piddly about it? Go for it. What am I crushing down here? Is that your personal massager? Oh, no, you already moved that. He said, hey, man, personal massager, right? Fuck it. And I said, hey, man, whatever floats your damn little ditty. Because, I mean, he has aches and pains to take care of. It's not always used for, other things.
I don't know
Erogenous.
what you use your massager for.
I don't have a fucking massager. Yeah, I'm looking at this picture of me, and I look like a homeless man. My nose is all red from allergies, and my fucking eyes are all puffed up. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't get a shiner. For some reason, I mean, it happens when, you're practically married and shit. You just start fucking wrestling around and shit, and just like, hey, get out of my way. No, you. It's like, I'm going to get the candy or whatever, and she just clocked me right in the fucking eye.
Did you get beat?
Well, it was just one of those things where I was scrambling, she was scrambling, elbow went out, kaboom, and I was like, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to have a shiner for the show. But it doesn't, I'm just kind of puffy. I don't think it really, I don't think the blood came up. Oh yeah. And how about goose eggs? I don't think a single one got that one. But I could be wrong. I lose count sometimes. 1-4, big blue. Okay, let's see. I see it. Do you? It swirls. It twists and turns. It's turned this way and that. It becomes 3-dimensional, then 2, then 4-dimensional. And we see each other in a mirror reflection of what we used to be. Look further. See where it began. See the molecules that make it up. And then bring them forward and make the shape in your mind as it is in mine. Connect us in this way, and we shall never, ever be separated again. Okay. Let's see. I think we're going big. Blue door, 57. I think Betty started reading Flowers in the Attic today. That's probably why she didn't make it out. I think that she was engrossed in it. I didn't ask her if it was the first time, but that's a hell of a book to start just out of nowhere. Okay. Plus. Oh, I see. Emily's saying plus side. Okay. What the fuck did I say? 57. You open the blue door and peer through. You're staring down a long, dark passageway. At least you think it's long. It's difficult to tell. Well, what are you going to do? It's pitch black. You don't know what to do. Maybe I should have picked the other door, you say to yourself. I'm getting out of here. But the blue door is locked behind you. Now you're sure you made the wrong choice, but there's nowhere to go but forward. Your knees begin to tremble as you inch your way down the dark hallway. The passage ends in a bright burst of light, and in front of you, a tall purple mountain rises hundreds of feet into the air. Oh, shit. I think he might have picked up some kind of hallucinogenic fungus in Booger Bog. You breathe a long sigh of relief. You're out of the dark. You study the mountain. Bill. Amanda Marie Cruz, thanks for stopping by. This is a live Choose Your Own Adventure. It's actually the first in the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure. Reader beware, you choose the scare called Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. I read through, and you make the decision in which way we go, and we travel through the book in that way. You breathe out a long sigh of relief. You're out of the dark. You study the mountain. It looks so real. But cut into its side, you spot a doorway. Above it, a brightly painted sign reads, Doom Slide. Will you be the one to slide forever? Turn to page 135. Let's see. 135. Uh-oh. Holy shit. Okay. Wow, this is like unprecedented. You open the door and you climb a steep ramp that curves around and around. It's cold and dark inside. Halfway up, you stop. There's another sign. Warning. You may be the one to slide to your doom. You continue up the ramp. You finally make it to the top and find yourself standing on a wide, dimly lit platform. A row of long, curving slides stretches out before you. The slides are numbered from 1 to 10. You think hard. The Doom Slide. You know you've heard about it before, but where? Oh, yeah. It was in a Goosebumps book you read. One Day at Horrorland. Now you know you're in big trouble. You remember all about the Doom Slide from that book. You remember that if you pick the wrong slide, you'll spend the rest of your life sliding and sliding forever. Which number is the Doom Slide? Which one? Which one? If you remember which slide is the Doom Slide, or if you have the book and can look it up, choose a slide that is not the Doom Slide. If you can't remember, you have to leave it to luck. Okay, well, being that Emily is the foremost expert on Goosebumps, I'm not sure if you're going to want to go with her answer on this one or not. She might lead you into a trap. She's tricksy that way. She doesn't follow the norm. She breaks all boundaries. So she might just lead you into a trap. So here's the deal. Pick a number between 1 and 10. And that will determine your choice. I know R.L. Stein name dropping his own book, legend status. If he didn't have it before, that's some mackery right there. All right.
Which one's Doom Slide?
Doesn't tell me.
Emily, ask Emily.
Do we want to know?
I thought that you're supposed to know.
Well, it's saying if you know. So if okay, let's see. Amanda Marie Cruz, 7. Pick slide 2, 7, or 9. You go to page 95. So that's one there.
7 is a lucky number.
So they say. Does anyone know why 7 is a lucky number? I don't. Is there some sort of mystical, numerological importance to the number 7?
Is it a whole number?
That would be, yeah, it's a prime number. Because it's only divisible by itself in 1, right?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. By the way, pentagraph, yet again.
Well, you might want to explain that to her.
Oh, yeah. Amanda, I found these nifty Ghostbusters. I think they're called like Rhine cards. I can't remember the name of the gentleman who developed these. But they use them in Ghostbusters to measure ESP ability. by having a stranger pick cards and then visualize the figure that's on them, and then someone does it blind and sees, whether or not they can pluck it out of their mind. So, with the Choose Your Own Adventure, I bought these cards at the Secret Chamber of Oddities and Art in Fairborn, Ohio. If you are anywhere near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base or near Dayton, definitely check out Fairborn, Ohio. It is Halloween every day. That they told me that, and they weren't lying. That place is the coolest. It may be the nexus of Halloween Town in the good old state of Ohio. Fantastic is not the word for it. Damn, my eyes are itching like crazy. You'd almost think that I wore glasses, but I don't. It's definitely one of those things that I thought for sure that I was going to have some kind of cool glasses to be wearing into my old age, but I'm not so sure. Okay, let's see. Arizona, but from Iowa. Cool. I know a couple of authors live in Arizona. Dope ass place. Okay, folks, did all my black bookers take off? Got to pick a number between 1 and 10. Huh?
It is late. It's almost midnight.
Did you just tell me it was late?
I said it might be
And it was
late.
almost midnight?
Be late
It
for
might be late for some.
them, yeah.
These people are from the Black Books Mask of the Red Death book club. Midnight is their fucking time, man. They ought to be aware of this.
Maybe they're out doing something.
No, they work jobs. I would understand. I would like to think these people are pretty good about telling me when they're bug outing, though. Maybe I missed it. Did you see any fond farewells? I didn't see any. Oh, shit. This can't be right. We must be on some kind of delay right now. Pick a number between 1 and 10. I'm not going to tell you which one goes to where. Pick your number, let me know, and I will determine where we're going. As long as someone else comes out here. I'm going to do another card in the meantime, see if anybody comes out. Okay. I see the picture in my mind. It starts out as smoke, as mist, as vapor. And then it collects itself and turns into a geometric figure that I can see. And hopefully, if you look deep enough, you can see too. It's there. It spins. It coagulates. It shatters. It reconvenes. And now it's there again, in my mind. Read it and know what I'm thinking. I'm sure that the other guys don't say that stupid shit, but Emily, the numbers, pick a number between 1 and 10. Because I'm guessing that you most likely have read that one. So don't choose the... If you remember what the Doom Slide number was, don't choose it. Okay. Paul Schroyer, 68. We are currently tied with 1 pick apiece. Okay, Emily, pick a number between 1 and 10. If you remember what the Doom Slide number was, or if you're most likely running for your bookshelf right now to find it. The book was at One Day at Horrorland. I don't know what the number is on that one. But we haven't got time for all this foolishness.
What is it, 1 through 5? Or 1 through...
I'm not telling. They pick 1 through 10. And once they...
If she knows what the slide is.
He made it sound like they're numbered.
Oh.
Choose a slide that, yeah. So it says if you have the book and look it up, or you remember which number slide it is, it matches. The One Day in Horrorland. So I guess...
I'm just saying if it was 5, and then you pick 1 through 7 or 1 through 5.
She's saying it was book number 16, so we're safe here.
She's thinking that it's the book number that matters, but it's the slide. When you go down the slide.
Yeah, Emily, if you remember what slide number it was, apparently there are 10 slides. Is there 2 of me? What? I don't understand. Let's see. Amanda, you maybe you're going to I was trying to redo the Diabolical Index Facebook page, so it should be the one. The one you're looking for is the one that doesn't have the book with a knife sigil on there. It should just have the Diabolical Index logo. I'm probably gonna give it up. I can't even remember why I was doing it.
I didn't know you did it.
I can't even remember why I was doing it.
I think that she just probably sees double comments, maybe.
Sorry. Yeah. Andrew Moore, my technical expert, is the one I'm. He refuses to have a microphone. Everybody keeps asking him to have one, and he said this. He said, "This is your show, motherfucker. It's better." He likes being the Wilson behind the fence, where I'll just kind of like comment to him, and there's no. I think they can hear you though a little bit.
They can.
So, but yeah. So Andrew's in the wings. So there you go. So yes, and answer. Yeah, there you go.
I don't think she can talk.
And answer your question. Yes, there is another person there. Okay, 5. One. Son of a bitch. It's a 3-way tie.
I'm gonna go with 6.
6. Okay, we're going to 68. All right. You slowly lower yourself onto the slide. You start to stretch out your legs when the bottom tile is underneath you. Well, tilts underneath you and throws you forward. You're sliding fast. The surface must be made of some kind of special material because you're zooming down at top speed. You hold your breath as you fly through the blackness. A bump sends you bouncing into the air. You scream and scream. When is it going to end? Oh no. Oh no. Could this be the doom slide? You hear screams echo into the darkness. You twist around, but you don't see anyone. The ghostly screams grow louder. In front of you, next to you, behind you. Screaming and sliding and screaming, never stopping. You gasp for breath and you hear it. A voice cuts through the blackness, through the screams. A voice that cries, "Welcome to the rest of your life. Welcome to the doom slide." The end.
I guess we guessed wrong.
I guess you guessed wrong.
What was the other one?
What was the other what? What were the other outcomes?
Yeah. Was it just one? One other one?
No, there were 2 other ones.
Okay.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay, so I'm kind of like just flipping through. Yeah, that's cool. Because that's a good bed. Like page. Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. Thank you for stopping out. I'm kind of curious as how you found us, but thanks for stopping by. We do I do a non-entry episode where I'm doing Choose Your Own Adventure every other Monday night. So next Monday will be a literary topic or a couple of specific books that I'm going to talk about. So yeah, that was awesome, Paul. But I was looking through here, and even despite all the where am I? I'm over here now. Okay. Despite all the choices that we made and all the directions we went in here, there is much more to this book. I just kind of flipped through and I saw all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. I think that there's much more if you go to the midway, where we didn't go. So there are games of chance, and there's like fortune tellers, and there's like marionettes and all kinds of craziness. So this book is, let's see, 136 pages. And we went all over the place, and there's still more to be had in this. So, very, very cool. I have to say, oh, by the way, almost forgot. Plus sign. I'd have to say, oh, there you go. Book group action. I have to say, Amanda, I think that you may be one of the first people that were serious and wanted to seek us out. I think that most people from the book clubs or the book groups kind of just troll us. So you are totally welcome. Thank you for stopping out and get some good rest. But yeah, these Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure books have been fantastic. I'd say so far, besides kind of like the sword and sorcery ones, like the Lone Wolf and different ones that are kind of like they're the same character, but you go through and you kind of act out different things and make them out with. No matter what you do, you always end up at least near the place that the next book starts in or whatever. You have a wonderful night as well, Amanda. Thanks for stopping by. I would have to say that so far, I would say that Goosebumps, these might be my favorite ones. Out of all to choose from that we've done on here so far. Once I found out how good these were and Andrew jumped on it and bought a few of them, and I think we still have 3 left
I think we do.
to go through.
Yeah, we have the losers from each time.
Yeah, we have the losers. We have the ones that weren't picked. But I think it's one of those things where you don't really lose. They've been so awesome. So Emily's saying that despite knowing what the number was, they actually got out of that one alive in the last one. So, or in the actual the Horrorland book. So
They said not to pick the one.
yeah, so it maybe it was a fake out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have 3 left for next time. I'll put up a poll to see who's into what. And so far, even the ones that look goofier in hell, they still have like an edge to them. You're still not quite safe. Like I just think that they're really, really super done well. Oh man, thrift books. That's the way you do that shit. I think that might operate as a charity. The thrift books, like from eBay and stuff. So definitely check that out. So the ones that are left are Toy Terror, batteries included. And she looks meaner in hell.
We didn't get to the alligator, did we?
No, we didn't even get the alligator on the cover. Number 6, Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter.
I'm probably gonna get 1 through 10 too.
And number 33, It Came from the Internet. Log on for a free megabyte. So yeah, Goosebumps number 1. Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. We did not escape. That was awesome because
2 time loops.
yeah, we were actually in 2 time loops in a row. So they didn't want to kill us, but they wanted to torture us with living forever on this one thing. That reminds me of yet another Doctor Strange plug with Loki in was it Ragnarok? I think it was Ragnarok. Where it's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. So it's kind of like the same thing. We'd be going down the slide of doom for the rest of our lives, our short, screaming lives. So I will put up I guess, until Andrew gets some more, or I guess I could buy something at some point, but I'm broke as shit right now. So let's see, no, I guess that still works because I'll do a poll for 2, and then the loser will go with the loser for 1, and then it'll just have, until the next one comes in, we will have a slew of polls to get through. So thanks again for Eugene and Amanda showing up. I don't think Eugene had been here before, and Amanda is definitely new from the book group. So thank you for stopping by, as well as my Black Bookers coming out yet again. Robin, Ben, Emily, and Angela. I think Angela might have dipped out pretty soon, maybe halfway through. And Stu and Natalie showed up from the Brighter Futures. Definitely check out the Brighter Futures subreddit. It has exploded. It's a very, very unique framework of how those stories come together. Definitely check it out. I think it's about ready to explode. I got 2 Josses, Josh Schroyer and Josh DeForge from respectively from Pointless Discussions and from Running Scared Motion Pictures, as well as Pointless Paul, Tyler Huff, the podcast daddy from Caffeine and Kush, and I think that's it. But it was great to have you all again to go through these total awesome adventures of craziness. And I haven't quite picked out what I'm going to do for next Monday. I have a couple of front runners. I'm reading this Langdon St. Ives book called Homunculus, and it's kind of like a steampunk type of, kind of from the beginnings of steampunk, when it hadn't exploded and stuff yet, as far as I can tell, or at least at the beginning. Not necessarily the first, but at the beginning. And I'm also reading one, kind of in a pickle, really. There's one that I picked up and I really started to like. So much so that I started to do research actually to do it next Monday. But then it turned out there are never too many Joshes, Paul. Don't you know that by now? When I started doing research on this thing, I had found this book at like a thrift shop, which is normally the way this works. I end up finding some book I never heard of, and then I start reading and I like it, and I do more research, and it turns out that everybody in the universe has already known about this thing but me. It's called The Architect of Sleep. I think his name's Stephen Boyette. It's definitely Boyette. And I was reading through it, and I don't want to give too much away, but basically, it's kind of got a John Carter flavor to the way this normal, everyday Joe kind of ends up in a new world just by entering a cave. He's a spelunker, and he goes caving one day, and he kind of like walks through this shimmering opening to this cave system, and when he comes back out the other side and tries to find his car, it isn't there, and neither is a parking lot. And he starts to follow a river to see if he can't get back to some kind of civilization. He doesn't know where he is, and he sees a shape on the other side of the river fishing, and much to his dismay, he discovers that it's not a human being. And it was just awesome. It was really, what I read of it was really engaging. But then I discovered that there was a huge controversy about this book for a couple of reasons. One was he had meant the whole thing to be part of a 5-part series. And then for whatever reason, the publisher won't release. There's some kind of weird rights thing where he's got the sequel all ready to go, but due to some sort of complaint about whether or not it would be received well, or whether or not the first one made enough money, or what have you, it's been in limbo, and people have been bugging the hell out of this author who kind of just wants to like move on with his life. And the strangest part of all, or at least the most unique part of all, is most of the people who contact him are members of the furry community. When I said that there's something on the other side that isn't a human being fishing, that's kind of where that comes into play. And it turns out, that apparently this is a book that's considered to be in the very first kind of like, not necessarily inspirations, but at least kind of like a beacon of the furry community. This book is way at the top. And it's so crazy because you look at the book and it just, there's no kind of like psychosexual, furry, as far as I can tell. I mean, I haven't read the whole thing, but the reason why I haven't gone through it was disappointing to me. The whole situation. I wish I never would have looked it up, but maybe it was a good thing. I'm not sure, because apparently the biggest complaint about the book is that it's a cliffhanger. It remains open-ended so that the series can go along. But seeing as how the series hasn't come out, and I think this thing was finalized like at least in the late 70s, early 80s, or maybe mid 80s. I can't remember now. I think it was early 80s though. So it's like the idea has been sitting around for 20 years. So it's like, do you read the book and hope that he decides to bring out the other ones? Or do you just kind of like drop it where you are and then I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I might. It would be interesting if I could contact the guy and see if maybe he'd like to discuss it. But apparently, that's all everyone ever discusses with him. Like he's got a whole body of work. In fact, I might actually do Emily. I may do a Mark on top of it, right at the end. He's got another book that interests me, and it kind of has to do with like Hell on the Highway or something. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I might pursue that one instead. Just because, you know, if it's so damn open ended and there's so much promise and potentialities to it, but it just has never been fulfilled, it's kind of weird to do a review on that and lead people into this open ended book. So I haven't decided yet. And, you know, if anyone knows me, they know that I, you know, usually plan these books way far in advance and do all the research and take copious notes. And yeah, no, none of that. Usually it's kind of like it's kind of bent on impulse. I'll find something that kind of strikes my fancy, or in the past I would do 2 books that kind of paralleled each other by accident and all this kind of stuff, and we'll see what happens. I might just kind of read through it because I mean, there's no doubt about it, I enjoyed what I read, and see if the ending hits me as hard as it would have knowing what I know. And if I think that it doesn't, if it doesn't like punch you in the gut because you're never going to find out what you know, how the importance of these things are, I'll let you know, or I'll just end up doing it or what have you. So anyhow, that was a story. There you go. Like I said, Juice in the Morning. This may be my last promo, but you still have that, right? Well, I'll just talk about it. Juice in the Morning is the podcast of the month. They will be joining us at the Kettletop Brew House Wednesday in Anderson, Indiana, for the improvised story Choose Your Own Adventure live at the bar, and that should be interesting to say the least. It'll be really something to find out how that goes. But yeah, hopefully I didn't talk about it at the top of the show, but I should have. With any luck, Curse Passages. We're gonna have a couple of stories coming out at the Curse Passages YouTube channel soon. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So that will be awesome. And if anyone hasn't gone to, Tales from the Bud for the tongue-in-cheek episode, that was a total blast. Definitely check them out. Tales from the Bud and Dr. Hayes, Sir Midnight, cooking up the good stuff. Somehow they let me on, even though I don't smoke anything. But there you go. This has been the Diabolical Index for June 24th, 2019, where the pages of the uncanny reside. Definitely keep your eyes and ears open for what's going on next Monday. And as always, stay squirrely.
The squirrel was magic!
Greetings, Earthlings.
Juice in the Morning here. We are unpredictable talk radio for Indianapolis. If you want to follow us on social media, our Instagram is at Juice in the AM. Our Twitter is at Juice in the AM. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Juice in the Morning. If you want to follow us personally, where can we find you, Johnny?
If you're on Twitter, you can follow me at JB_Juice in the AM. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, it's Jonathan D. Boughton. If you can't spell my last name, that's your own fault.
And since I am the Juice himself, you can follow me at Juice85OR7 on all social media. Once again, you can find us on podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Google Play, and you can stream us on Spotify.
Time to blast off, and we'll see you in space, bitches.
In the morning.